Hi YouTube. I got a comment regarding my Nibiru in the sky video that someone was saying that it is the moon. Well, I can quickly debunk that by saying, look at that. That's the moon and descending. And take a look at the sign here. I'm driving home on I-70 and I have a sign saying Indianapolis, 94 miles. And 5 miles to 127, I think it is. So I'm in that general area, and as you can pretty much, if you look on a map, you can calculate that I'm driving west and not driving east. And for the time being, the sun is rising in the east and setting in the west, and so like does the moon and all the rest of the planets, and there you have the moon. And I can prove it even more that I am going west. In case you don't believe me, the moon is still there, and I'm explaining in my video, the long one, that this is your enemy, so-called Gwen Towers. But just to illustrate to you, I am going west. You see that? I'm very close to Indianapolis here. Exit 101 is coming up, and you see it says west 70. That's very clear. The moon is over here in this frame. Let's put it over there, just to make sure you can see there in the same frame, 70 west, mile marker 101, and the moon is up there, meaning the moon is in the west, and it is setting soon. And then we go over to the other picture I took, and you can clearly see that there is a difference, a huge difference in the angle of the picture. Unfortunately, I don't got a mile marker inside this frame, but you can clearly see the angle is taken out of the side of the truck and not in front of the truck. I think the picture very well illustrates that. You can see that is in front of myself, and you can see this is across the road behind me, because I'm driving west, the sun is rising in the east. And there we got it, whatever it is. Don't know what it is, and it's not a lens flare, no. You would like to believe it is, but it is not a lens flare. Whatever it is, I don't know. And that's why I'm asking the question, did I find? I'm not saying I did. Not at all. I wouldn't come with such claims. All I can see, I have an object in the sky when I'm looking through my pictures. And I was actually just about to talk about, how weird the weather were, because it was so freaking cold and it was still foggy. It was seriously foggy in Ohio that morning. It was bad some places. I had to drop down to 35 miles an hour because I could not see far enough ahead of me. So I had to be able to stop if something were there, just to be, precautious. And I'm pretty sure that if anyone living in the area of 70 remember the 2nd of January, that was a very foggy morning. Extreme. It was hanging in drapes. And we got this weird object. And, the sun is very bright. Cameras pick up differently than your human eye. So this object could be up around next to the sun without you even noticing it, because the light from the sun, as you see in the exposure here, is quite bright. You see that? It burns out the optics completely. You can't even see the disk of the sun. So just by, in the sunrise, seeing all this muck could be enough to obscure the vision of this whatever it is very easily. And the fewest people are actually sitting and staring up at the sun while they're driving a car. You wouldn't be very smart doing that, because when you look down on the road again, you're freaking road blind from looking at the sun. If you're a smart driver, you don't sit and stare at the sun while you're driving, unless you have good sunglasses. And foremost of all, you need to keep your eyes on the road and not on the sun while you're driving. That's why I just shoot randomly. And then I pick out some good pictures. I just shoot. And let's see what shows up on them. And this one showed up. And I got another exposure of it here a little later. It's in the same general area, the same distance to the sun, so this object is there. And if you wanted it to be a lens flare, you can see the angle is not much changed. You see that? But you see the distance are fairly the same. So there is something there. Whatever it is, I don't know. I'm not saying it is Nibiru. I'm asking, did I find it by chance? Don't know. But it's not to rule out that there's something on the image here. And again, I'm so lucky I have something in front. I have this weird chemtrail, which I would actually like to look a little closer on while I'm at it. So now I've scrolled over here to the side, keeping the object in the focal point too, hopefully. See how it reacts to it. Now it should flip over a little. There. Look at this weird line these chemtrails are making. Zoom in one more. They're very peculiar looking. You can see the light on top of it, and you can see the darkness underneath it. It really looks like they pulled a rope through the sky here. And still we got this elusive object hiding in behind these clouds, meaning this object is not between me and the sun. This object is out between me and the chemtrails, behind it, seen from my angle. But it's there, whatever it is. And you can see it's spherical. It's very clear. The other picture, which I used the other video, also shows the same. We clearly have a definition of shade and light. Go back to the other one. You see the same again. And this is that line we were just looking at. So that's pretty much it I have to say about that. I don't know what it is I'm having in the viewfinder here. I just noticed I had an object sitting there. To begin with, I was just saying, oh, well, that's a lens flare. And I zoomed in on it. And as you clearly see, it doesn't look like a lens flare to me at all. It certainly looked like there's something up there. Whatever it is. I could not tell you. Idaho Pigger, that was something I needed to help you with. I would be happy to help you with it if it is possible for me. So give me a shout when you wrote your comment to me that you needed my help. I was at work and I'm unable when I'm at work to do anything. So if you can be fast, see what I can do. So I don't know what you make of this. This is very strange. And this weird, very, very distinct line going straight through the sun. It freaking looked like a rope. Wouldn't you say that, love? It looked like a string in the sky. It's so defined. If you go over to the side here of the picture, look at that line. It's very, very odd. Is this what they're doing? They're squaring everything up in lines. As I say, they make triangles and they make squares in the sky. I've showed you a picture of that, where they directly make a square in the sky. Fortunately, I don't have that picture right now in my hand. It's on my phone somewhere, and it's too late to put it in. So that's just how it looks. Some very weird stuff. The clouds look like they're painted on. They look weird. Everything just looks weird. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just, taking some shots here and there. If I see out in my mirror, I'll, lean forward and glance back in a second and see, oh, there's a lot of chemtrails out by the sun. Okay, we take the camera up and then we roll the window down and then we start shooting. And I don't know, 4 or 5 pictures at a time. I click off and go home and look at it and see how does it look. And if there's any worth, I'll put it up. And I will certainly say this picture is worth, or these 2 pictures I have of this weird object is definitely worth it. And just to say something, you see this line is not in the object on the second picture, but the wind is coming from the southwest. And I'm looking east, and the wind is coming from the southwest. That means that this part of the sky is gliding in that general direction over the sky, coming from southwest. So that fits again with the object is still there, because you see the line is underneath here in the picture. And there you got it. The clouds have moved. And these pictures are not taken right after another. But as you see, there is something there, whatever it is. I just hope it's not Nibiru. That wouldn't be too good. Well, that's all. God bless you.